for more Creative Clubhouse. I'm Miss Rebecca, and we have an incredible guest. We just saw wonderful magic, and we're going to see some more Kool-Aid magic with Mr. Winthrop Hires, a teacher from Richmond Hill Elementary, and he also teaches at Armstrong State College. Boys and girls, let's give Mr. Hires a great big hand. We're glad you're here.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm glad to be here. Do any of y'all have a chemistry set at home or anything like that? Okay,
Sure.
do you have a chemistry set and you've mixed chemicals together and made pretty colors and things like that? All right, then you might kind of understand some of the chemical magic we're going to do today.
That's what we have on these special glasses. Is that right, Mr. Hires?
That's right. We're going to be working with some chemicals that we wouldn't want to get in your eyes or anything. But the neat thing about these chemicals are you really don't need a chemistry set at home to do this because you probably have all this stuff at home already.
We can do this magic at home?
We can do this magic at home.
That's
Isn't it neat? All right. Now, what we're going to do today is make some magic Kool-Aid juice. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story that happened to me a while back. Would that be okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, I had these folks come over and cut the grass in my yard, and one thing that they wanted, it would get so hot out there. What do you think they'd want?
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid. But you know what I had? This is what I had. What do you think that is?
Water.
That's just plain old water. And so I said, well, it's so hot, why don't you drink the water anyway? So the first person came in, and they took the water, and they said, well, that looks pretty good. All right? But the next person came in, they said, I really want Kool-Aid. I really want it a lot because that water is just not pretty enough. All right? So the next person that came in, I said, well, let me do a little science magic. So when they came in to get their cup, when I poured the water in, it became
Kool-Aid. Wow.
All right? Now, the silly thing that happened was this first person that had the water, they decided that they wanted Kool-Aid too. So I said, okay, well, I'll have to pour the Kool-Aid back in here. All right, now I've got Kool-Aid for both of them. Okay? Now, the last person down here, they decided that they wanted water. All right, so let's see what happens here. When that goes in, what do we have?
Water.
We have water. All right? Now, the person in the middle decided they wanted water. All right? Now, let's see what happens when we do this.
Wow.
Okay. Now, what happened to the Kool-Aid? It disappeared. All right, it became water. Now, what do you think's going to happen if I pour these together?
Water.
It'll become water. All right. And look what we got. Okay.
Water.
And what do we end up with? Water all the way across.
Let's give me a big hand. Wow.
And would you like to see how to make that at home?
Well, what did we actually do, Mr. Hires?
All right, what we did was we had, this wasn't really water right here.
No.
It was water with a chemical around the house that you clean with called ammonia.
Okay.
All right. Now, there is a little bit of ammonia in here. And then in the middle cup, there was a secret ingredient that we get from a little pill called X-Lax that you might have around the house. And that ingredient we're going to make in just a minute. All right. And then in the last cup, we had another ingredient, which is called vinegar. Y'all ever eat anything with vinegar on it?
We have vinegar at home. We probably have X-Lax at home, too.
And probably have the ammonia and everything.
Probably have ammonia at home.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at how to make this at home. All right. First thing we need is the secret ingredient. That's
X-Lax.
the X-Lax.
Okay.
There you go.
X-Lax.
All right. So we need to get into this pill right here because the chemicals inside, they put a coating on the outside of a pill so it's easy to go down and you don't taste the yucky stuff inside. So we need to get into a yellow powder that's in there. Now I'm going to take this pill and we're going to put it on top of a washer. All right, y'all take your washer, put it on top of the paper. There you go. And put the pill on top of the washer. Now, if we were in a real science laboratory, we would use something like this. This is called a mortar and pestle. And scientists use this to grind up chemicals so that they can make powders out of them. But since some people might not have one of those at home, we're going to use this little bolt right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the bolt on top and push down real hard to break the pill, just like the scientists would do with the mortar and pestle.
So now we've smashed the X-lax pill.
Mashed it all up, and inside there's a yellow powder that we want. Just mash it real good.
Okay, so boys and girls at home, you can just mash up an X-lax pill.
Okay, and then we take this powder and we pour it into a little cup, like that.
Didn't you tell me the chemical is called phenolphthalein?
Right. If you look on the side of an X-lax box, it'll say a big long word that says phenolphthalein, and that's what a scientist would call it. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is to add some alcohol to the phenolphthalein.
We've only got 2 minutes. We'll have
All
to
right.
hurry, so we're going to work quickly, boys and girls.
All righty. We're going to pour the alcohol into the X-lax. All right. And we're going to stir it up. Stir it up real good.
And that tells us what?
This is making the X-lax into a liquid so we can put some drops into some water.
Well, our time is almost all gone. Let's tell the boys and girls at home. We know that this tells us about acids and bases. Can you tell us real quick what that told us?
All right. If it's an acid, like vinegar, phenolphthalein doesn't do anything. It just stays clear, like it did in the end cup. If it's a base, like ammonia, it turns pink.
So if we want to find out if it's an acid or a base, we just put it in a tablet of X-lax, and
Right.
if it turns pink, it's going to be a...
It'll be a base.
It'll be a base, and if it doesn't turn, it's going to be
It'll be an
acid.
acid.
What a great experiment. Boys and girls, let's give Mr. Hires another great big hand. And you can go ahead and, I think we're all engrossed in our chemicals here. Boys and girls, stay with us. We're going to be right back. We've got CC Turtle coming up and lots of fun dancing songs. We'll be right back.